What's up, everyone? It is I, Adam Prime, and we are back for something kind of interesting, something different, but something kind of I've done before. We are here to talk about SHODO Double Cross. Not SODO. This has an H. Very different. By that I mean they're completely different figure lines. Why did they name them so similar? I don't know. But this is SHODO Double Cross 06. What happened to sets 1 through 5? I didn't buy them. I didn't. I just don't own them. But I have Double Cross 6, and I have another box, which you'll probably be seeing a video of as well. But, yeah, 6 is one of the first ones I got because I just saw it and I like the figures. But these are very different from SHODO, but they are also very similar because they come in boxes. But these are pretty much fully painted, like 4-inch scale figures. And we get Decade, which, by the way, if you want to see a little bit of the lineup, move up a little bit. Boom. So we got 2 Decades, but we got Decade for box number 1. You get the lineup over here on the side. You got Decade again. He's got his missile launcher, which comes in the accessory box. That kind of stuff. Nothing at the bottom. Decade on the top. We also got Zangetsu from Gaim. And this is pretty much a wide variety of different riders from different shows. So yeah, there is that. So you got Zangetsu, just standard melon arms. We get... Wait, is it... Yeah, Kuga Pegasus and Kuga Rising Pegasus, which I'm realizing I didn't look at Zangetsu's box that much, which I think he comes with the sword. I think the Melon Defender is in the accessory box. But we got Pegasus for the third box, which looks pretty good, and that's one of the main reasons I got this, because I already have SHODO Kuga. But yeah, but I only randomly just picked SHODO Kuga up. But yeah. And, yep, it's green. And you got Rising Pegasus, which is very much just gold accents added. But that's okay. I don't think either of them come with their bow guns. I think they're in the accessory box. Next up for 5, we got Sagozo, which I'm excited. I do love me some O's. I have some of the other O's combos. So, you'll probably see those in this video as well. But there you go. Got Sagozo. And yeah, he comes with his little bopping fists and everything. So, he's pretty much ready to go. We got in last of the figures at least, we got a villain in the Utopia Dopant. Which, if I remember correctly, was that the main Foundation X guy? Like, the final boss for Double? So yeah, I think... There's that. I think he comes with his cane, though. So, we'll find out. And finally, we have the accessory box, which comes with some accessories for Decade, including a new head, the Neo Deca driver, his sword, get some drivers for O's, the Melon Defender, and all of Kuga's bow guns. So yeah, that's the accessory box. You got all of the figures that'll use these accessories, including the Violent Emotion head. So hey, if you have 2 Decades, you can actually have one with the Violent Emotion head. So hey, the Decade is not really a double if you want to look at it that way, so that's cool. But yeah, that's pretty much the whole lineup. So just you know what? Let's open Decade up. I'll show you guys how these guys work. Oh wow. Get a piece of gum. And there you go. See, they're fully painted. There's not really a lot of building involved. You just kind of pop on the head and hands. And that's pretty much it. So, that's Decade. Comes with a stand. So, I will get these guys opened up, and we will take a look at them. Let's go. Alright, here are all the figures all built up. Well, built. Like I said, like I showed earlier, you really are only popping on heads because they are fully painted, so no stickers. Always a fun time. So, I guess we will start with, I did give pretty much all of them their accessories if they could use them at the time. So I guess as we're going through them, we are going to be going through what comes in the accessory box, but I will be mentioning what those parts are. And Pegasus form wants to fall for some reason. You stand. Don't you fall. So, we are going to start off with the first box, I guess. We're just going to go in how they had it ordered. So, we got Decade, and he has the Neo Deca driver. The standard one does come with the white with the red dot, but in the accessory box there is a Neo Deca driver. So, I gave one of them, because I at least got 2 Decades, so I gave one the alternate Violent Emotion head, and the other one's the standard with the Neo Deca driver. So, at least having doubles made sense in this one. If you can tell the head differences, you can also tell that he has a purple gem, so that's an extra reason you can tell it's Violent Emotion. They come with pretty much these side ride bookers. But yeah, other than that, these are obviously the exact same. I just changed the head and the belt. So, put Violent Emotion back here. So, let's get into articulation real quick. And all the articulation is pretty much the same for all of the figures. It's just depending on what's going to limit them. So, these shoulder pads are built into the figure, so they're not going to be able to move, and they will hinder it, but they don't really hinder it that much. So, you can move the arm out that much, move it back that much. It can pretty much go all the way around, even go all the way up if you really wanted to. It's just, you're going to be having this shoulder pad move there. He has a bicep swivel. He even has like a butterfly kind of ball joint thing, because if you can see, it can rock a little bit back and forth. I didn't find that out until I accidentally popped off the arm, and the arms are not fun to put back on. But yeah, you have his hands, which are interchangeable. So if you wanted to bring in his interchangeable hands, he has like card holding hands, open hands, a pair of fists, weapon holding hands, another set of weapon holding hands, because the accessories give him 2 weapons. So if you really wanted to, you could give him a card holding hand, like if he was gonna transform, which I'm realizing I wish they kind of gave this the ability to be popped onto other riders, but I don't think you can. Definitely not O's. You definitely can't put that on O's. But I don't know, that's experimenting I'll have to do for later. So if you want him to have a card posing hand, but we will give him one of the accessory holding hands, because we got some accessories for him to hold. So we have the Ride Booker in sword mode. So if you wanted him to hold it, you just gotta feed it through his hands, and that looks pretty good. The same goes for the gun mode, which is also really small, but it looks pretty good. And you also get the rocket launcher. So if you really wanted to, you can just which you do have to build this yourself. This is a built, like, there's actually like pieces and you have to put it together, but it's not that hard. And the missiles do come out, so I guess if you really wanted to have it, he's using it, you can have it be accurate on how many missiles he's used so far. Oh, did his hand fall out? I don't know where his hand went. That's weird. Oh, there it is. So, honestly, it is kind of easier to get it in the hand before you attach it. So, get his hand around it. Okay, or that missile can fall off again. So, get that. Put the missile back on. Okay, the missile's fighting me. They honestly do stay on. I'm bumping into them the whole time. So, you can pretty much have him sling it over his shoulder. Which, this is a funny visual, I'm not gonna lie. Like, I forgot Decade had a rocket launcher, but it's kind of funny to see how often he does get an accessory of it. Because it's like, I want to say the Shodo did it. The SHODO, not Shodo. This is Shodo. Actually, there might be past Shodo releases of Decade. But back to the articulation real quick. I'm realizing I kind of got off track. You have a body joint and a torso joint. So there's 3 joints. So he actually has a pretty good ab crunch. And he can go back pretty far. So that's pretty cool. He can pivot. I'm just going to take that missile off. It wants to fight me. You can move the ride booker. His leg articulation. He does have that drop down system. So you can get all of the poses. His thing fell off, whatever. So you can go far that much, but you do have the butt flap, so it's kind of hard. You can go up that much, 90 degrees. You got pretty much a ball joint at the feet, got toe joint, and it's the same for the other side. Cinch that up, and that's pretty much the articulation. The back is missing some paint, but whatever. I still think this looks pretty good. So, if we wanted to get him into a nice pose with his rocket launcher, I guess, let's see if I can get this to work after fiddling with it for I don't know how long. Probably the length of this video. As of up to now. Oh, okay, knocked another one off. So, be careful when you are posing around with this. So, there you go. You can get him posed and he can shoot rockets at people. And that is pretty much Decade. I guess I need to get the toe joint. And this shows you the posability of these guys. Like, I like the articulation and everything. It's not like full double joints, which I often do prefer. But for how small these guys are, I gotta say I do dig it. Okay, he don't want to stand right now. I don't know why. Probably because this thing is having him be a little bit better. Okay, he's standing. Go over there. Okay, he's knocking everyone over. That's just what's happening. Okay. You know what? Okay, we're moving on to Zangetsu. So, we have Gaim's fourth rider, yeah. And he looks super good. I love that they actually captured the texturing in his helmet, which is really cool. Obviously, even on the armor, it's like that fruit texture, which I love, which does go on to the Melon Defender, which is an accessory box item. It does not come with the figure, but it also comes with this alternate handle for the Melon Defender. So if you want him holding it more straight on, I prefer to have the one where he is holding it at the side, personally. That's how I'm having him posed. But he does come with the Muso Saber. And it is just made out of white plastic. And you see this little ridge? It goes into that little holder. It slides right in. Sliding right in. Okay, now it's wanting to fight me. There we go. Slide it right in, and he pretty much has all the same articulation. And you can definitely tell he is missing a lot of the gold paint apps. But honestly, from far enough away, it still looks really good. And I just love how this guy turned out. You got his driver, which isn't really molded. Well, it kind of is. Even at the bottom of his feet, you got, like, the molding. Like, you can actually, if my camera will focus, the little Zangetsu logos, which I think is really cool. That they just have that attention to detail. He does also come with a set of alternate hands. Ignore the Decade hands. You got open hands, and you got a fist, and you got, like, weapon holding hands, which, honestly, I don't know why they did it this way, but actually, I do think I know why. It's because I think the, like, white plastic is a harder plastic, and the gripping hands are rubberier plastic, so they painted them. And you kind of gotta fear that this paint is going to chip away. But overall, I think they work fine. They look good. So, you can give him his Muso Saber, and he is ready to fight whoever. And I like how this Zangetsu turned out, like I said. He's a fun little figure, and he has the same posability. Next up, we already have people who have fallen over, is Kuga Pegasus. And, you know, this looks really good. It's one of the main reasons I wanted the Kuga forms. That's like one of the primary reasons I got this set. He has his asymmetrical shoulder pads, and again, same articulation, but the belt looks really good. You can definitely tell the detail even on the armor. You can see the runes and like the like Linto language and everything. I love the metallic green they use for the eyes. I think that looks really good. And he just has all that nice detail. The bow gun does come in the accessory box, but it's also very nicely detailed. Kind of could probably use some paint, but I'm not gonna really care about that. It also does come with like the extended version for when he's about to take like the shot and everything, because it works like a regular bow and arrow. But he comes with some alternate hands, like some posy-like hands, weapon-holding hands, like just relaxed hands, like two fingers to almost look like you're pulling back the bow. And these are very similar figures. You just added the gold accents onto it. But the driver is different. It does have like the little gold plate to show, so it can show that you are in the rising form and everything. But I honestly do like how the articulation does work on these guys, because you can get nice dynamic poses. And again, this bow gun was also in the accessory box along with these two little blade pieces, which I guess I can show how this works. You just pop these off because they only give you one set of these blades. And if you look at this version, it has two holes, but it is different from the standard version of the bow gun. It is slightly bigger, it has two prongs now, and obviously will have these blades attached to it. So I do appreciate that they did not just drill holes into it, which I know like a lot of this is because they want to be accurate, but you just plug them in, and you plug it in. And there you go. You got the bow gun with the blades. So, there you go. Again, it's just like the same, but with some nicer golds and a different belt. But I do like how Kuga Pegasus turned out. It just is great. The posability, everything you can do with it, 10 out of 10. Kind of do wish that it came with a pistol for Kuga Mighty to use, just because that would be kind of funny. So, there you go. There is Kuga Pegasus. Both Rising and not. Rising Pegasus does have its own set of interchangeable hands, and they are different, but they are like exactly the same in like layout, like open hands, accessory holding hands, and all of that. But they do have the Pegasus logo on the back of the hand. So they are different because they have that unique molding. So that's pretty cool. Next up, we got Sagozo, who has the colored version of the belt and the O scanner, because that's you have an O scanner holding hand accessory. He has weapon holding hands and open hands, and he obviously has fists. So, in the accessory box came the color driver. So he originally came with this non-painted color driver, and the accessory box did come with more of them for the past releases. I do not own La Torata, but I will bring in Tatoba and Gatakuriba in a little bit. But he has pretty much the same articulation, but if you wanted to take out the hand, or I guess, yeah, you can slide it out, you can take off the hand so you could shoot off the Sagozo punchers. They don't come apart or anything, but I think all the molding and everything looks really good. They use the nice silver paint. This guy is really turned out really well in my opinion. I think he looks really good, which I do wish that the legs had more paint, because it is just black. So it's like I wish it kind of had like a metallic wash or something on it. but then I guess it would also kind of interfere with the gorilla. But like, I wish they used the paint that they use for the metal thing up here, which, if you didn't know, in this line you can take him apart, which I think you just pop him off at, yeah, at the joint, and then you can intersplice him with any of the other combos, and his thing does not want to come out. Jesus. It does not want to cooperate at all. Okay, we're not doing that again. I'm not forcing that anymore. But we're going to keep him like that. But you can, if you bring in, like I said earlier, Tatoba, which does have a different system, which I kind of do like the new system more, because these heads will just disappear off the bodies. But you can put that on, and you can put a Tatoba head, or you can slap the Sagozo head on Tatoba. And there's the color painted belt that I was talking about that came in the accessory pack. So let's switch you guys back. So yeah, you perfectly have interchangeable O's combos, which is pretty cool. I do like that they allowed you to still do the combo changes for O's, so you can really make all the combos if you really wanted to get doubles of everything. But again, I do like the molding that they did for even like the boots, like the tipped, like almost like they're pointed for like the elephant trunks and everything. So the molding is there. It's just it's not painted like whatsoever. Also, the head looks amazing. I love the eyes pop on that white with that just forehead gem. It looks so good. So. And last but not least, we have the Utopia Dopant. And he doesn't get any accessories from the accessory box. He comes with his like little pimp cane. So that was at least nice. And his articulation is pretty much the same, but it will be hindered by like this really thick rubbery cape. But he does have the same articulation as everyone else. His head looks wicked. Like, this was the final boss of Double, if I remember, or was he a movie villain? It's been a while since I've seen where the Utopia Dopant originated from. I want to say it was Double. I want to say that was the final one. Like, I know Terror was, like, the main one, but, like, it was, like, the Foundation X guy, if I remember correctly. I'm not really remembering right. But he looks good. It's just, he's a monster guy. It's just, out of all the figures, this is the one I'm least excited about in the box. But it is always fun to have villains. And again, they did a really good job. The molding and everything else, it looks really cool. Got the big bladed boots. Which I'm realizing I should have been showing off the boots, because they have boot detailings. The O's has his. He didn't have any, obviously, but he wants to fall. He wants to fall for some reason. Kuga has his. I already showed Zangetsu's. I don't think Rising Pegasus has anything different. No, it's the same. So, okay, you can just stay falling over. Okay, everyone's falling over. And you got Decades even has... Oh, does it not have any? No, it does have molding. Just very faintly has some molding. So there you go. You know what? Okay. You're losing your rights to the bazooka. The rocket launcher. You keep falling over, you can't have it anymore. Alright, let's get these guys back. Okay. Okay, everyone's just floundering. Alright, I'm gonna cut real quick. Alright, we're back. So, I'm gonna bring in some of my other SHODO figures for comparison, just because I do have some of the older sets. I do not have the complete older sets, so that is why I didn't do the full video. But we have Tatoba and Gatakiriba. And they all three look really good together. I do wish I had Lorata, but I never found it, so I never bought it. So, but yeah. He also has one of the painted drivers from the accessory box, so I do appreciate that. Like I said, it's the same system, so again, if you really wanted to take him apart and combo change with anyone you can. And there's the unpainted scanners I was talking about earlier. He had one too. So, there you go. There are the O's combos. Let's compare it to an older SHODO figure. This was I think the SHODO series right before SHODO Double Cross. I think this was just called SHODO X. I think. I don't remember which line he is technically part of. I just know he's not part of Double Cross. So, he obviously doesn't have the toe joints. The height and everything is the same. It's just these have better articulation now, and he doesn't have the toe joints, and he is a little loose. He's a little loose right now. But otherwise, I think they are exactly the same. I think they're just, well, not exactly the same. It's like they're the same scale. So if you have him, he's just not going to have as good articulation as him. That's the difference. Well, we have Pegasus all front and center. Everyone keeps falling. Whatever. I'm going to bring in Mighty Kuga from, I think this was the first Double Cross set. And we have Rising Mighty as well. So, again, the Rising forms are just different belt and gold accents. But at least in this case, he has an anklet. Which, again, these guys look great together. I love the SHODO Kuga guys. I think they're fucking amazing. Like, really dig them. There is him. And to bring in a Yudo figure, yeah, they are much smaller than a Yudo figure. To bring in a SHODO figure, I brought in Drive, so let's get him all straightened up. He is still much taller, so you definitely cannot get SHODO to work with SHODO. So yeah, this scale really doesn't work for me personally. But at least they're two different lines. Let's bring in a vinyl. Much shorter than the vinyl. Let's bring in Skeletor, which, honestly, get the right Motu figure. This works for me. Like, big, buff monster guys versus small man. That works. I also have Shards vinyl. Same size. And here is a 6-inch. Obviously, this don't look right. And another series that really made me try to jump into SHODO, which is this 4-inch Marvel. I think these were called the Epic Hero series. There's a Wolverine and a Spider-Man. And they scale actually pretty good together, and I love this. I love having a Spider-Man scale with my Kamen Riders. That's amazing. So yeah, that is SHODO Double Cross 6. Oh wait, one last. I'll throw in Cosmos. There we go. And that is SHODO Double Cross 6. Overall, I think these are actually a really good set of figures. If you don't like that you have to sticker and paint, SHODO figures, these are your good alternative. If you want some, like, small, like, as long as you're into the smaller scale, like, these are 4-inch figures. These aren't 5 to 6-inch, which even I more commonly get into. But honestly, I always did love these smaller figures. They allow you to often do more, especially in, like, scenes and whatever else. And the articulation on these are super good. I can highly, at least, if you ever see any that you just like in the grocery store, like how I was doing with, like, the Kugas before, like, this was one of the first sets that I was like, okay, I really do want most of the figures in this set. And that's kind of why I'm now just getting into it in set 6 rather than set 1, was because I was initially being like, do I really need to get into SHODO Double Cross? And I kind of missed out. So I'm kind of kicking myself because now I want to get Dragon Form for Kuga, because that's the only one I need. But that's actually probably going to take me some hunting to do. But overall, I do like how well they're painted. I think they look really good, especially when you can get the accessories. You often get some really fun ones. And yeah, I can highly recommend, at least if you want to just pick up any of these figures individually, I can recommend it as a set, especially if you just like these Kamen Riders. I think they're really cool, and I really hope this isn't as long as I think it's going to be, because I know I was fumbling a lot there in the opening. So, thank you so much for watching. I don't know why I'm just fiddling with Violent Emotion Decade. And what is your guys' favorite? Who is your favorite in this lineup? I might want to give it to Kuga, but Zangetsu and Sugozo are also really good. Like, these four are my top. I really do like Decade. I think Decade came out really well. And it's not that I don't like the Utopia Dopont. It's just the Utopia Dopont, I barely remember what he's from exactly, but it's also because I haven't watched Double in like a decade. No, that was not a joke on purpose. Um, but yeah. So, what is your favorite one from the set? Like I said, I really can't like decide between these four. I might give it to Kuga Pegasus though, like Rising Pegasus specifically. That one might be my favorite because I just love how good he looks. But thank you so much for watching, and until whatever I do next, which I do have another SHODO double cross box, so stay tuned until then. Till whatever I do next. Bye bye!